me tell you a story.
Welcome to My Skeptical Sister.
I'm Megan, the skeptical one.
I'm Erin, the grouchy one. No, I'm Erin, the believer.
You were a little touchy.
I know, and I don't know why. I've done literally nothing all day but a puzzle and watch trash television.
Oh, the dream.
I know. My kids were like, can we do something fun today? I said, no. Your fall break started yesterday. Mine starts today.
I get a mommy-free day today.
Yeah, I watched like 5 episodes of Love is Blind.
I don't... Oh,
yeah,
it's one of those...
Trash. It's garbage.
I love those shows.
I do. I also watched... I finished the first season of Why Women Kill. That was pretty good.
Ooh, is that like a Snapped?
No, it's like a dramedy kind of, and I thought it was going to be lighter, but it had some really sad parts.
Oh, well.
But really good. I liked it a lot. It's an older show. I think all the shows are out.
Okay, I'll have to watch it.
Older by like a few years.
Yeah.
But it was good. It was on Paramount Plus. I liked it a lot.
Very cool.
So I don't know why I'm grouchy. My only explanation are all these cords. They are everywhere. Like, why are there so many cords?
Mm-hmm. Again, I'll say it. It's 2023.
Yeah.
Why are there cords?
They are my mommy dearest wire hangers. Like, no more wire hangers. Like, that's me, but with cords.
Mm-hmm. I hear you.
So,
it reminds me of me trying to explain to Miles how a cell phone tower worked the other day.
Oh, I would have loved to have heard that conversation.
Well, it ended with me finally just saying, it's magic, honey.
There you go. Were you so scared coming over here tonight?
I was terrified.
Because of all the ghosts?
Your house looks like a haunted house.
And the spiders?
Mm-hmm.
It's so spooky.
And so realistic.
I know.
I love how you always do, like, the joke is that these are not very realistic looking ghosts.
Okay, sure.
For those of you who, we'll definitely post a picture of it on Facebook. They're adorable.
Wait a minute. Are you saying ghosts are real? If these aren't realistic, we got her. Got her.
You're about as cute as those fake looking ghosts up there.
Oh, that's pretty cute.
Here's what I'm saying. Yeah, that is really cute. Here's what I'm saying is that anybody can make a ghost appear to be real.
Okay. What do you mean?
I mean, like,
you
people
just said those didn't look real.
No, those don't. But I'm saying that not ghosts. I'm not saying that ghosts are real, Erin.
Who's on first?
I don't know.
This is the confusing.
I'm just saying people can do special effects to make ghosts appear like they're real. Yours are not quite there yet.
Okay, I didn't want to be. I want little children to want to come to my house.
Yes, and they do. They're adorable, which is weird. Why? Oh, for trick or treat.
For trick or treating. I'm not a weirdo.
I mean, it kind of came across that way.
One night a year, and I'll give them candy, and I'll send them on their way.
Right, and then those ghosts come down immediately. No, they're super cute. But do you cut them out every year? Do you do new ones every year?
No, I just lay them real flat when I store them.
There's no way.
There's a total way.
You do that for real?
Yeah, for real.
They're perfect.
Well, I cut them out really well the first time I did it.
And then where do you store them? They're so flat.
I put them down on the shelf, and then I put all my other stuff in the box on top.
That is the most impressive thing I've ever heard of. My decorations that are not as delicate as just pieces of paper that could fold easily are ruined by the time I get them back out.
Well, your kids like to play with decorations.
They sure do.
I don't let my kids do that. I'm not a fun mom. I'm like the opposite of that mom on
Oh, yeah. I just
Girls.
Don't care. It's not because I'm fun. It's because I don't care about decorations.
I love decorations.
Ugh.
I do care about them. I don't let them play with it. I don't let your kids play with them. They were Miles was playing with my little fake spiders. I said, hey, put that back.
Smack his little
That's
hand.
not a toy. It looks like a toy. It totally probably was bought in the toy section, but now it's a decoration.
In this house, we don't play with things.
That's right. There is no fun. But boy, does it look it.
Yes. Well, it does. You want the kids to come up to the house
and
so you can smack their little hands.
Miserable.
Right. Miserable while they're here.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. So you mentioned that it's fall break.
Yes.
Where are we going on our haunted night?
Oh, shit. It was by fall break? I thought it was just the fall season.
No, we talked about fall break.
Okay. Well, are you ready for this announcement?
I can't wait.
Me either. Okay. I definitely owe you a scary night. I will think on the fly
Okay.
So that's what I'm going to spend the rest of my fall break doing, is figuring out where we're going to go on Sunday night.
Well, I will be at Harry Potter World.
Oh, shoot. Well, it was your fault. You ruined it.
No, David.
I tried. Everybody just heard how much I tried.
In fact, Sunday night, we bought tickets to do the Universal Studios scary part.
Yeah, that's what it was.
No,
I had that
wasn't.
planned the whole time.
You owe me the money for that then.
Hold on now. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it because like all the movie villains are going to be roaming around and there's like scary haunted houses to go through.
That'll
it's like a big deal.
Fun.
I know. I can't wait.
I wonder what level of scary are we talking? Like, I don't feel like they're going to be like down and dirty like what is the Otter Creek, the haunted forest?
Yeah. Well, I think they kick the kids out. I think it's adult only.
Oh, well, then they better bring it.
I know. I'm really pumped about it.
Nice. I can't wait to hear about that. How's Kevin doing with haunted houses? Does he like them?
He doesn't love them, but he'll do them because he knows I like them. He's okay with it. He really got mad at the one we went to years ago, the Baxter Avenue Morgue. Because you have to like sign a waiver that says
they can touch you.
They can touch you. You are not allowed to touch them back.
Yeah.
So that place was so scary. We went with, I think you were there. Our other sister, our dad, and Kevin. We all went together. And at one point, we're walking through, and I feel somebody playing with my hair.
Ooh.
And I knew our sister was behind us, and I was like, "Hey, are you playing with my hair for some weird reason? Why would you be doing that right now?" And she was like, "No, I'm really far behind you." And I was like, "Oh no," it was awful. Well, they also had people like on like rafters on the top that they were like attached to things so that they could like flail their body and go like back and forth on these, I don't know, rafters. And one of them kicked Kevin in the head. Oh, he was like, "Okay, I think I'm done with haunted houses," but you know, he'll play every once in a while. And now we paid for these tickets. I did sort of hoodwink him into it because when I originally quoted him the price,
poor Kevin, and getting hoodwinked in prices.
I know they were like $70 a piece.
Oh gosh,
that's
a damn good haunted house,
right? Well, it's like a whole experience. It's like all night, and the whole park turns.
Do you get to
spooky.
eat? Are they going to serve you like hors d'oeuvres while they're scaring the shit out of you?
I have no idea. That sounds great. So, it was that. Well, then I waited because I was like, "Oh, I'm already pushing it with this trip. We'll just wait." And then I thought, maybe we'll get there and the peer pressure. Preston and Dave are going to go. Maybe we'll, like just sneak it in and he'll be like, "I guess." Well, then I signed up to work the Saturday showcase of schools. I was like, "Oh, that'll pay for those tickets." So I said, "Hey, I'm going to work this. I'm going to go ahead and buy these tickets." And he's like, "All right, that sounds good." I forgot to mention that they had gone up about $30 a piece by the time.
Daisy.
He was like, whoa. I thought it was 70. I was like, "Oh yeah, that was a while ago. I forgot to update you the new price."
But we've already bought them.
It still covers the price. I wasn't going to work that day, and now I am.
It's
girl math, and it works. It's fine.
Simmer down.
Yeah. Have you seen that trend of girl math on TikTok?
No.
I've never
TikTok.
I've never felt more seen in my whole life. Girl math is a thing, and I have done it my whole life. I'm like, I was going to pay for that. We were going to send Sophie to Costa Rica. We talked it out. We worked out a payment plan.
Okay.
She was going to pay for a part of it. And then last minute, she decided she doesn't want to do it. So I had to call and cancel and be like, "Never mind, we don't want to do this."
Wow.
Got all our money back. We have a free $3,000 now. That is $3,000 that someone gifted us.
Now you can do whatever you want with it.
Now we can do whatever we want. We are rich right now.
I'm starting to get girl math. And it's a total thing.
It is a total thing.
That's hilarious. I love it. So I guess men don't feel that way?
No, but you just got to go down that rabbit hole yourself. It's pretty funny.
Okay, I definitely will. That's hilarious. I'm not going to tell my stupid story because I can't remember what it is. And
well,
I'm too tired to make something up.
It's good that you're not, because apparently you called me a scaredy cat in it.
Well, I didn't call you a scaredy cat. Miles and Penelope were sitting on the couch, and I overheard their conversation. They were watching some sort of like YouTube scary haunted something. And I heard Miles go, "Oh my gosh, your mom would be terrified if she watched this." And Penelope was like, "Oh, I know, she really would." And then so I thought that was kind of funny. And then I heard him go, "She's such a scaredy cat."
The nerve.
I didn't correct him. I just laughed.
You're both rude. I'm not a scaredy cat. I am a little bit.
Yeah, you are.
But why would they know that?
Apparently they both feel that way. I mean, he got validation from your daughter.
Ugh, rude. All right. Well, we've got 2 long stories tonight.
Yeah, we do, because we like them long.
Okay, so I am going to read a story. Remember how last week, this came in before that episode even came out. Remember how last week I said, I wish somebody would just send us a legitimate email from our website.
Uh-huh. I do remember that.
Well, Lacey, even though it hadn't come out yet, was like sending telepathic waves and went ahead and sent in her story.
Yeah, you did,
over
Lacey.
our website. Thanks, Lacey.
Thank you, Lacey. I love it. I didn't even know we had a Lacey.
I know. It says, Hey, sisters, I found your podcast after my youngest started his first year of full-day school.
Oh, from him? From, like, how?
Oh, I don't know how she found it.
I'm like, the whole time, like, oh my gosh, I hope your son wasn't listening. Like, Mom, listen to these 2 crazy ladies.
I needed something to fill the silence. Y'all's relationship reminds me of me and my younger sister.
Oh,
We're best friends, and living across the street from each other sounds like a dream. I'm very jealous.
oh.
I mean, girl, you can have it. No, I'm just kidding.
I was saying it has its ups and downs. It's not every moment is a shiny moment.
It's pretty much all shiny moments.
We're kidding. We love it.
Okay, now to my stories. I have quite a few.
Ooh.
Okay, now listen. I'm going to redo her story order. I'm going to do it. I'm going to read her first story.
Wow, look at you.
And then I'm going to skip to the last one because the middle one
okay.
is so scary.
Oh, I cannot wait.
I know, they're all great.
Okay.
But I'm like, oh, that last one, that middle one needs to be last. Okay, so here's the first one.
Okay.
My grandma was very much a believer. I grew up hearing stories of fairies hiding in the trees and tiny elves that like to prank people by stealing one sock. The only time I have ever, or will ever, use a Ouija board was with her while she was babysitting me. My mom found out and freaked out.
Oh my gosh.
Ouija boards were banned after that. As a kid, I thought she had to be magic. As an adult, I know she was. She was a great storyteller. She got married to my grandpa when she was only 16. He passed from cancer when he was in his 40s.
Oh.
Until the day she died, she said he was her soulmate and her truest love.
Oh my gosh.
She used to tell us that after he died, for years, she would feel him getting into bed every night and could even see an indent on the bed and pillow.
Oh.
It brought her a lot of comfort.
I bet it did.
I know, isn't that sweet?
That is very sweet.
Okay, now I'm skipping down to the bottom.
Oh, okay.
For the shorty story.
Okay.
And we're going back into the middle.
Okay. I mean, you're like, flip it,
I know.
reverse it, turn. What is it? What does Missy Elliott
Put
say?
the thing down, flip it, and reverse it. Okay. She even says, the next story isn't nearly as scary or interesting, which it is still very interesting. It's just a quick one.
Yeah, we'll be the judge of that.
It's also much shorter. Years later after the story you don't know yet.
Okay.
This is probably why she put it in this order. I don't care. After getting married and moving out, my husband would sometimes drive for Uber overnight to make ends meet. I went to bed at around 11 most nights. Every night that I stayed up late, I would hear the same thing at around 1. A knock, and a few seconds later, a faint doorbell.
Ooh.
Then I would hear, hello.
What?
In a female voice. Then a much less enthusiastic, oh, hey, in a male voice. Every night.
Man, that's kind of sad.
No.
Like, did you not hear my hello?
Right? Once I was in the backyard of the same house at night. I heard a whispered, run.
What?
Guess what I did? I ran.
Well, hell yeah, but to where? In the house or away from the house?
I don't know. I'm not completely convinced it wasn't a neighbor pranking me. I'm not taking any chances, though. So there's your second story.
I'm sorry, Lacey. I feel like that was extremely interesting.
Very interesting, very scary.
Yeah, I have a whole lot of questions.
But I'm going to go into my second,
okay,
the middle story now.
But I don't get to ask them because Erin is taking full liberties of the story.
Do you want to ask them now or after I read the middle?
No, go ahead. Read the middle. This is just fascinating.
Am I making it too confusing?
No,
Okay.
I'm following all of it. I'm just saying the stories.
Yeah.
Like, I can't wait to get into them. And,
right. Because that one's scary.
Yeah.
And here we go.
The first one
Is sweet.
is the sweetest and cutest image I've ever, like, the fact that your grandma is doing a Ouija board with you.
Right.
Is adorable.
Which would be the same reaction if we came home. If I came home and Nana was doing a Ouija board with my kids,
It'd be hilarious.
I'd freak out. I'd be like, Mother.
Oh, I'd laugh so hard.
Oh, I'd be so
I would
mad.
laugh so hard. Mom would think it's well, it just
Mom
depends.
would totally do it.
It depends on the day.
Yeah.
Some days it could be totally a demon from hell, the devil. You're going to go to hell yourself if you use it.
Yeah.
The next day it's like, oh, come on.
Yeah, I know. I love Mom so much. She is so easily manipulated, though. She reads one article. She tried to tell me once. Have I told this on the pod? That she tried to say I couldn't read Harry Potter anymore because she thought it was evil.
Yeah.
I told that on the pod.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Turns out we read only witch books as kids that she read to us. Bony legs. Come on. Okay, here's the scariest one that I had to save. And this one, you should settle in. Make sure you got enough wine because it is a long one.
I'm good.
I never experienced anything until much later. I was a 19-year-old single mom with a newborn and had just moved back in with my parents. One morning, while everybody else was at school or work, I finally got a minute to pee while my son slept in our room down the hall. I heard loud, heavy footsteps running down the hall toward our bedroom.
No.
Once they got to the room, my son started screaming.
Oh my gosh.
I rushed in, but there was no one there. I checked him, and he seemed fine and calmed down when I picked him up.
Oh.
For a few days after that, I kept hearing growls and scratches.
What?
I know. When I would walk into a room, I would immediately turn around and shut the door. No, thank you. I would also hear knocking on walls or cabinets. We lived in a trailer, so there was no wall space for animals to get into. One night, after getting my son to sleep, I heard the same loud, quick footsteps coming toward our room, then a growl coming from inside the room. This was back before all phones had a flashlight. I had found out that if I tapped my camera while the flash was on, it would flash and not take pictures, unless I held it down too long, which happened often. I was doing this around the room to see if I could see anything. Up in the corner, above the door, I saw a dark face with red eyes and giant horns. Megan. I accidentally took a picture.
Nuh-uh. Do we have a picture?
She didn't include the picture, but Lacey, you gotta send it. You got to send it. I looked at the picture on my phone and could see it in the picture too.
No.
My son slept in a bassinet that laid in my bed, so I grabbed him and tucked him up against me. Then we both hid under the blankets.
No, girl, that's when you leave.
But she has to go through the door, and it's over the door.
Oh, no, that's when you scream. You go out the window.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, no.
Oh, man, I really want to say, we went out the window.
I don't know what that's
From Big Hero 6.
Oh, you're so weird, Erin.
I know, I'm sorry.
You're so weird.
When I hear something, I gotta say it out loud. I wonder what that means about my brain.
I don't know. Weird, some might say.
We went out a window. I heard growling again. After what felt like forever, I peeked out but didn't see anything. I grabbed my son and ran to the living room. I lay down on the couch with my back to the room and my newborn in front of me. Such a good mama.
I know.
I tried to calm down and sleep, but kept hearing something move in the kitchen behind me. After several hours of waiting for it to stop, I finally turned to look. All I saw was a water bottle laying in the middle of the floor.
What?
Suddenly, it shot across the room toward me, and I turned back around. Are you kidding me?
Did it hit her? It just went
towards her.
Okay.
That went on all night, and I never got any sleep.
The water bottle?
Just the noises moving around all around her.
Okay.
I think.
was like, boy, that would eventually get a little old. Like, pick a new trick. I get it. You can make a water bottle fly across the room.
The next morning, I told my mom and sister and showed them the picture. I found out that they had been hearing the scratching too.
What?
They all left for school and work. I felt safer with the sun up and decided to take a nap on the couch. No. We said that at the same time.
No. I'm like, no, you don't do that.
She hadn't slept all night.
I don't care. You leave. Okay.
Where's she going to go?
I don't know, but not there.
No way in hell was I going back in our room. Fuck that, she says. I woke up from my disappointingly short nap. I turned to go to the kitchen and saw every cabinet door and drawer open.
What?
Are you joking? That's so scary, Megan. Okay. I rushed to shut them all. Later that day, I talked to a friend about it who was dating a Native American medicine man.
Wow.
I know.
I'm picturing the hottest man in the world. I don't know what you all are picturing, but you should be inside my brain. That's like a medicine man?
Yeah.
Native American. Hello.
Yeah. He's going to take care of some shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's going to come protect you.
Oh my gosh. And his muscles? Like, I don't even know why a medicine man needs muscles like that.
He does. He's got it in my thoughts too.
He sure does.
He came to the house and checked out the room. He said it was a demon and they like dark places. During the day, that's the closet. He opened the closet door and used his phone's flashlight app.
He's so brave.
I know.
He's so brave.
And then in parentheses it said he had a nicer phone than me to look around. As soon as he did, we heard a growl and his phone completely shut off. He slammed the door and left the room. When we got back to the living room, his phone turned back on and still had battery life. He had us all go outside and collect pine needles. He saged the house and put salt on the windows and doorways. He went to the kitchen with the pine needles and told us to go outside. He wouldn't tell us what he was doing, but I heard him talking inside. When we came inside, the pine needles were burnt on the stove, and he told me to keep them in my room. After that, I still heard occasional knocks, but never any growls or scratches. I definitely never saw him again. I did really enjoy pranking my friend, the one dating the medicine man, by knocking and scratching on the walls when she stayed with us.
Oh my gosh, I feel like that's some bad karma right there.
I know. I could never hold it together, though. Always ended up laughing and telling her it was me. All right, now we're back to the closing of the email.
Wow.
That's all. Thank you.
That's all.
Yeah.
Lighthearted.
Thank you for making me feel less lonely while trying to navigate this new chapter. Pronouns, she, her.
Oh my gosh, Lacey.
Yeah.
Thank you for those multiple incredible stories.
I mean, terrible, scary stories. I mean, not the grandma one. That one was so, so sweet.
Yeah.
But all the other ones, no thank you.
Wow. Yeah, there were some layers there. Man, I'm just so glad it was a story about a grandmother and I don't have to debunk any of it.
Oh, that's not how that works.
So sentimental.
You don't have to debunk the first one, although it wasn't Lacey's husband who passed away. But it was her grandfather, so you don't have to.
Yes, I won't touch that one. But, okay. Let me go. Which way do you want me to debunk? The same order you read them?
Whichever way makes
I feel
you
like you had
happiest.
some specific things. Okay, well, let's take the most recent one you told. So,
okay.
Man, I don't know where to begin.
I really want to see that picture. No way you erased it, right? Send that picture in, Lacey.
Yeah, that's. I would definitely like to see it because then that could help me with what I'm going to say. But my thought is some form of sleep paralysis, like very, very vivid dreaming.
But she was awake the rest of the night and still heard scratches and water bottles flying.
Here's my thought about this. I know that I was like, get out, but really, like if in your mind, if you're that terrified of something and it feels that real, isn't your only option to get away, not to go back to sleep?
She wasn't trying to get back to sleep.
She laid down on the couch and she wasn't able, in her words, to go back to sleep. But she laid down on the couch to protect her child. Like to me, let's say this. If there's an intruder that comes into your house and you have the option to get out of your house, what are you going to do? You're going to get out of your house.
Yeah.
So because an intruder is 100% there and real and in the flesh, you're gone. So what makes somebody, and not just you, Lacey, like we read story after story after story of people who are terrified of this supposedly real thing, that they still endure that terror by rolling over and trying to go back to sleep. To me, that tells me that there's somewhere in your mind that it's like, this could be something I'm making up.
Well, you also have to take into consideration, she's 19.
Okay.
A brand new mom.
Right.
Her family's in that house.
Right.
So that gives you a little bit of like.
Yeah, but I would go rally my family. Like, we've got to be in this together.
Yeah, where is she going to go, though, in the middle of the night?
I don't know. But again, if it were an intruder, you wouldn't just roll over and go back to sleep. You would get out of the house and call 911.
Yeah.
So that's just, and
you can't
Lacey,
call 911 on a demon.
Well, okay, but you could if you knew for real it was for real.
Not even then.
You could say,
looking at a demon, I can't call 911 and be like,
there is someone in my house. There is someone in my house. I need someone else to come here and check this out. You don't have to necessarily say a demon, but I need someone here now, like another being other than a little tiny baby, to come and check this out. Lacey, this is not me judging you or anything like that, because again, we have people tell stories like this all the time.
She judges everyone.
Well, I do. It's kind of my job. But no, but what I'm saying is I'm not judging the person or the actions so much as to say, what does that tell me about when this happens? What it tells me is that it's something that somewhere in your brain, you know it's not real.
I don't think so.
Okay, let me just reiterate my point.
I get what you're saying.
If there was an actual human being that ran after me, my response would not be, I'm going to lay down on the couch and shield my baby until he goes away or until they go away, because that's going to happen. You know it's not going to happen.
But it might happen with a demon. We don't know what a demon's going to do.
They're growling at you. They're like, things are going to happen.
But when she left, she didn't actually see it anymore. When she left the
I
room.
don't know. I'm just saying, I feel as though the response, there's a lot of interesting things that could be dissected by the response of not just Lacey, but all of these stories where somebody puts the covers up over their head until they know it's gone, until it's going to go away.
Yeah.
It's like there's a power in me not seeing it or me ignoring it or me.
I think there truly is. If you don't feed into it.
I agree.
It takes its power
because
away.
I believe it is within your mind that it's happening.
I believe it feeds off of that power. That
And
you're
I don't mean
that
I don't mean at all that it's not happening. I mean that it is absolutely happening, but within the power of your own belief.
Okay.
Like your mind is creating it.
Yeah.
And it is.
I don't believe that, but okay. I'm saying but I'm saying.
Right. I'm just saying that that's what I feel. I feel like it is so powerful that it is absolutely there. And it is believable. And I'm not saying that it's like because anyone's crazy or like you fill in the blank of like what that word is.
Yeah.
I believe that something is happening, like something like physical in your brain is happening that is creating this to happen.
I don't know.
I don't either.
It's so scary.
I don't either. I just think that the response warrants some sort of, there's something there that's what we respond to when we know it's paranormal. We respond most likely with, it'll go away if I just cover my head and pretend like it's not there.
Yeah.
And I hear what you're saying because then you're not giving it power.
Right. What
I'm saying is I think that you're no longer thinking about it. And then that's what makes it go away.
I bet she's thinking about it all night. But yeah.
But then you go. if you know it's a real threat, if it's really going to hurt you, then you're gone. You're not going to stick around for that.
Yeah. I hear what you're saying. Okay, what about hearing the doorbell and that whole little conversation every night at 1 a.m.? What's that about?
Yeah.
Because to me, that sounds like residual energy.
Was this in the same location?
Nope. After she moved.
Okay, and what I need to know, like, what that location was like, because the first or the middle story that we heard at the end was in a trailer, correct? So you don't have neighbors on either side of you. In this situation, are you in some sort of townhouse where you're like right next door, or like I lived in like a townhouse apartment, but we had like neighbors that I shared a wall with. Yeah. So my wonder there is it something that like you have a neighbor who like watches a habitual something every night. And so it's, you don't tune into it because that's a weird thing. Yeah. But I told the story about how I had that neighbor who liked to turn on his weird statue once a month when the moon was full. Like people do some weird things. Yeah. Like maybe it was like oh my gosh, this is so sad. I'm creating this whole story in my mind, like a Dear John type thing where it was like she's like, hello, expecting him to be happy. And it was like their last recording. She watches it every night because it's like heartbreaking. Oh, so sad. I really hope it's a ghost. I hope that's not the story. But anyway, something like that where this person just happens to be watching it every night. Yeah. Around that time because maybe that's the time that it happened in real life. And gosh, they need to see a therapist, I think.
Okay, last one. What about the run when she was outside?
That's terrifying.
That's so scary.
That is terrifying. Lacey, you are an author, girl. Like, I don't know what, like, you should write for something. That is terrifying.
Yeah, that's probably the scariest word to be whispered in your ear.
To hear whispered in your ear.
That's horrible.
Oh, man, that is.
I'm going to do it right in the microphone. Run.
Oh, yeah. That's awful. That's awful. Especially when you put that, you're, I mean it, like fast.
Urgent.
Get
out of here.
Yeah, very urgent. Let's do it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. You were outside and sounds travel. And it could have been like some kids playing in the next yard. And they're playing some game where they're running after each other. And the word run was just picked up by the wind.
All right. Well, either way, those were some amazing stories.
Oh my gosh. Some of my favorite, Lacey.
Yeah.
I really think that you're up there. Like, that was spooky.
Yes, just in time for the scariest season of all.
I know. I almost feel like we should save Lacey's for Halloween.
Oh, well, too late. I already read it.
Yeah, that's true. Well, that just means if you're out there listening,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh no, I've got a story that could top Lacey's. We doubt it. But that's also a challenge. Prove it. Uh-huh.
All right. Well, let's hear your stories.
Okay. So I'm super excited about tonight's story from our author, who is from New Zealand.
Oh, he's a Kiwi.
He's a Kiwi. And I love it because he doesn't, I guess, Kiwis say te, T-A-E, instead of two.
Okay.
Because you know how I know? He's my new best friend.
Oh.
Some might say pen pals. We've been writing back and forth all about his YouTube scary things that he's putting on YouTube.
Oh, man. Move over, Danny. Sorry, bud.
Oh, Danny.
She's fickle.
Danny, you've never slid into my DM. I'm waiting, my friend. Actually, no, I slid into Danny's DM, but no, it's a little bit different. It's fine. Anyway, I should not make it weird for our new friend, John.
Too late.
I did warn him because I asked, I found his story on a Facebook page and I was like, this was a great story. Hey, can I use this for this podcast? And he was very open to it, but except for that, he was like, well, yeah, thank you so much for asking. One time he found his story somewhere online or on YouTube and it had been stolen from him.
Oh my goodness.
And they didn't give him any credit. And even when he tried to call it out, like they still whatever. And I was like, oh no, we always ask before we use anybody's story. And then later on, I was trying to explain because then I felt like, oh, I should really be transparent here.
Yeah.
Like you are on a comedy paranormal podcast. Like, please don't think that you're coming into like a podcast, which I usually am transparent to the fullest by the end of the conversation, but I like just skipped right ahead.
Mm-hmm.
We got to get those stories somehow. And if we lead with we're a comedy paranormal podcast, people, and I get it, rightfully so. It's like, this is my story.
Yeah.
This is my experience. I don't want anybody to make fun of it.
Right.
I typically really explain, later on in the conversation how we're hilarious. Tune in because we're really funny. Not about your story, but about just life in general.
Right.
So John, once I explained everything up front, he was on board. And he asked me to use his name.
Okay.
I'm just going to use his first name. If he comes back and would like his last name to be used.
I kind of feel like you should use his last name.
You think so?
He seems like he really wants full credit.
Yeah, I think it is his story.
And if he's trying to do this on YouTube, he probably wants that promotion. So let's go for it.
Okay, so his name is John Childs.
All right. But he probably says it really cool.
Yeah, like, how would you say it?
I am not good at Australian or where's New Zealand accents. Can't do it.
Yeah, I can't either. Okay.
Except I did hear that if you say R, N, R, kind of slur them all together, it sounds like R and R. like Australians
What's
say.
R and R?
R and R. Cleo. Oh no.
I don't know what you're talking about. What's R and R?
R and R sounds like oh no in Australian slang or an Australian accent.
Oh no.
R and
Oh
R.
no. I hear it now. I was like, what does that stand for?
My kids used to watch some mermaid show that was Australian and they would always go, they can all three do it. R and R clear. They do it perfectly. I can't do it as well as they can.
Oh, poor John. He's like,
sorry,
what?
John. Sorry.
What podcast did I just get permission to read my incredible story to? Okay, so here we go. And this is just titled, The Events That Took Place. Some years ago, I purchased a nice wee 2-bedroom house in, okay, here's a word. Rotorua. Rotorua.
Sure.
Okay. Rotorua.
Somewhere in New Zealand, I'm assuming.
Again, John, so sorry.
Sorry.
For myself to live in, and all was well for a few years, then suddenly some strange things started to happen. It started one night, some hours after I had gone to bed. My bedroom was at the other end of the house, to the lounge. I love that.
Oh.
I'm guessing it's like the living room.
Yeah.
The way that he describes it. Like we would call that the living room, but they call it the lounge.
All right.
And at about 2 a.m., I was awoken by the sound of people talking and different colored lights shining at my door.
What?
Mm-hmm. The bathroom door was opposite my bedroom, and I thought that the neighbors were having a party, so I would just get up and close the door. But then, when I looked across at the bathroom, I found that the talking and lights were not coming from there, but the lounge down the hall.
Okay.
So do you get it? Laying in bed, and he's like, oh, it must be like reflecting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gets up. There's nothing happening in the neighbors.
It's like it's coming from inside the house.
Inside the lounge.
Inside the lounge.
I walked down to the hall, to the lounge, and as I did, the talking got less as I walked. When I got into the lounge, I found my TV was turned on.
Oh.
I said, what the F? I turned on the light and looked at the TV that was on and looked at my dog who slept in the lounge at the time, and he was sitting at the opposite end of the lounge to the TV. My TV was an old small one at the time, and when you turn it on, it comes on at a low level, and when you turn it up and then turn it off, it will go back to that same low level.
Huh. Okay.
Right? So, like when you first, it's designed so that it doesn't blare.
That's lovely.
I know. I wish all TVs did that. Ours definitely does not. The really strange thing is that there is no way the TV can be heard from my bedroom once it is turned on, yet its volume was up and turning down as I walked towards the lounge.
Huh.
Okay, so he's saying like when I went to bed, TV was not on.
Right, somebody would have had to turn it up in order for him to hear it.
For him to hear it. Then he gets up, and as he's walking down the hallway, it starts to turn down. Yeah, as if someone's like making the volume go down. The TV was all the way around the corner from the hall, which means I couldn't see the lights from my room.
Wow.
So where are those lights coming from? My dog can't use a TV remote. Now here's where I want to go, that you know of. My dog can't use a TV remote. So this was the first strange event. And I have to say that after that, from that night on, the dog slept in my room.
Oh, weird.
Right. So I wonder, did you make the dog sleep in your room? Or was it like the dog is like, nope, I'm out of here.
Right.
I'm out of here. That person or that being keeps making me watch the lamest things on TV. I can't remember in what order the next things happened, but they definitely happened. I told some of my friends that they could borrow my trailer and just to go get it. Well, later that night, I called them from work to see if they had picked it up, and they said yes, and that they thought I was home because my bedroom light was on. I said, no, I'm at work. When I got home that night, the light was off. I called my friends to say that the light was off when I got home, and they both said that it had definitely been on earlier.
Huh.
I once came home to find the sliding door onto the deck of my bedroom slightly open. I always check the house, and it is totally locked up before I go out. And also, I have a security alarm inside. No one had been in because the alarm would have been set off, and the dog was outside.
Okay, alarm system coming in for my proof. I love it.
One afternoon, I had gone to sit on my bed and call my partner for a chat and had taken a glass of water with me. Okay, this is very strange. During our chat, I was talking, then said, what the hell? And wiped the side of my face to find that it had just been splashed with a wee bit of water, like it had been flicked on my face. I looked at the roof to see if it was leaking, and it wasn't even raining. I looked at the glass of water, and well, it was just sitting there, but I definitely got splashed with water from somewhere.
That's weird.
So they have the glass of water, they're just chatting on the phone.
But they're not moving.
No, the water is sitting down next, like I sat the glass of water down.
Okay.
Sitting there talking, not.
How aggressively did he set the water down?
Well, look at you.
I just
trained you
know.
well. I have trained you well. I don't know, but the way this reads, it makes it seem like they're just sitting there talking and out of nowhere, a splash of water.
Oh, that's weird.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so do you want me to read one more? Or do you want me to start debunking all of the things we've heard from
Let's
you?
read one more.
Okay, here we go. Another time, I had my boys there, and at this time, they were quite young. It was a Saturday afternoon, if I remember, a hot, clear, still day, and no wind. They were both in the lounge, and I said, we're going out, so go to the toilet now before we go. I love that. Like, hurry up. Go use the bathroom. Let's go. I finished sorting a couple of things and went about the house locking up. And as I got to the toilet door to go in and close the window, the door that was only about 6 inches open closed in my face.
Oh.
It didn't just get blown closed. It closed slowly. It closed until it got to the part where you have to push the door harder to close it correctly.
Oh, no.
It paused for a second, then shut tight in my face. I thought, oh man, now you go to the toilet. Like he's thinking, so like now you're in there, you shut the door, so go on, go to the toilet.
Right.
Thinking one of his kids is in there. So I knocked on the door and said, "Close the window when you come out." And then I walked into the lounge to find both of my boys sitting on the floor playing.
Oh, no.
Well, I just stopped and looked at them, then went back to the toilet and pushed the door open slowly. I looked behind the door and found nothing. I even pulled the door again and tested it for any wind that might be coming from the window, but there was not even the slightest of breeze. There was no wind about outside that day that could have closed it in that way.
Oh, man. I'm also really glad his next sentence went on right after the boys, because I was like, is he talking about his sons or is he talking about like my boys?
My boys.
My boys were over. So I was like, what age? But then it made more sense.
Yeah, definitely his son. On another occasion when my boys were both in the house, they were playing on the floor and I was sitting to the side of them on my computer. Both boys were away from each other when the youngest, who was about 3 feet away from the table, started to cry and was holding his back. When I asked him what was the matter, he said that he was hit by the TV remote, as it was now down by his side and not in the middle of the table that was behind him where it was a minute ago. It was a low table, and he had not knocked the table as I would have heard it. The TV remote had not been sitting on the edge of the table, because if it was, it's almost as if John knows me.
Yeah, I know.
He's like, let me just go ahead.
Right. Is this what you're thinking? No.
Yeah. The TV remote had not been sitting on the edge of the table, because if it was, it would have just fallen to the floor. So it must have been thrown with force and hit him in the back and had left a mark.
Yikes.
Although I never saw the remote being moved, from my angle, I could see both boys and most of the table, and no one was near the remote.
Whoa. That is so scary.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I love that I don't have to debunk anything.
I know, and I told John, like, don't worry, I believe in UFOs. So, I'm just kidding. No, I definitely don't think that any of this was aliens. I don't think.
The first one kind of felt UFO-y to me.
Yeah.
Like lights and talking.
Yeah.
And being able to control the remote, or like almost like they weren't in the room, but they were like projecting.
Yeah, maybe something like that. I really just feel like that was some sort of weird, like hazy dream, plus the TV was turned on, and maybe you went to sleep and forgot that the TV had been turned on, thought you had already shut everything down. TV, but as far as like it turning back down, I don't know. You say your dog doesn't know how to use a remote, but I definitely know that my dog has sat on a remote before and things have happened. So could have been the other being that was in the room doing it by accident. And then by the time you got down there, probably walking slow, they had gotten up and moved. The remote had already been, or the sound had already been turned down.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like you must have really vivid dreams. Like you always have these hazy dreams you talk about. Like
I know, girl, you always have vivid dreams.
I know, and I've never dreamt anything like these things.
Yeah, but I have had sleep paralysis. And I know we can go rounds about that. And I'm telling you what, that was wild. So I base a lot on that, because I'm like, that was a crazy experience. So I know that things can happen when you are sleeping that are very hard to explain.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
But I'm just going to go with, I think that his dog probably was somehow manipulating that remote control. And I feel like I know John well enough now.
Oh, sure.
That he would probably say that he tested the light system to make sure. But he also didn't say that. He didn't say that. So I don't know. But I feel like he probably did. So I don't know. Maybe there was some sort of light happening outside of the bathroom that reflected, and then it went away at some point, like before he got up and looked. And maybe that's what he saw. It happened to be like a coincidence.
Yeah, or a ghost who was in and out, floating around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, ghosts.
Or really, truly, that one feels more alien to me.
Does it? Okay. All right, well then, UFO.
There you go.
Okay.
All right, now what about the door slamming in his face?
I really think that it still could have been the wind. I mean, there have been gusts of wind that happen, and it, like, not even on a windy day. It doesn't mean that, like, just because it's a very windy day or because there is absolutely no wind, that's definitely what's going to be or not be. I think that it was a gust of wind.
And then shut really
So
hard. 2
gusts of wind, like one that blew it and then another one that blew real hard.
That's so boring.
Yeah, I know it is, but that's where my mind goes. To me, and John, this is like, I know you probably are listening to this first episode, or this is probably the first episode of this podcast that you're listening to. But in my mind, and again, this is just my own belief system, it is more plausible to me that it would be gusts of wind than it would be some sort of spirit.
Okay.
That's not everybody's belief system. A lot of people, it
Definitely
makes
not
more
mine.
sense. It's definitely not Aaron's, and that's fine. It's okay for us to have different belief systems. Okay, and then let's see. Oh, the remote control.
Yeah, the
I'm
remote.
telling you what, siblings can be crafty. You can think you're watching them both at the same time. You're for sure. And who's going to admit they actually did that?
Yeah, if I had to debunk any of those stories, I would go with that one, and it was the sibling.
Yeah. Yep.
Because I've been a kid, and I had a mean big
Sneaky.
sister.
You had your moments. Come on now. You always like to paint yourself as so innocent.
I was pretty innocent.
Trust me, you had your moments.
I was a delight as a child.
Why do you think I wanted to smack you? What is going on in that picture?
I don't know what you're doing in that picture.
That is like, talk about a little psychopath.
Your little face is so like, I'm gonna smack her.
The look on my face is like, here's my moment.
Right.
And all you're doing, you're a newborn baby. If you don't know what we're talking about, the little photo we release with every time we have a new episode come out, we release an old photo of ourselves
on Facebook and Instagram. So if you're not seeing those, join our
you need
socials.
to join our group for sure. But this most recent one, I mean, it was perfect. When you sent me that, I was like, oh my gosh, you couldn't have gotten a better picture. The title of our last episode was "That's Not a Baby, That's a Demon." And the picture is of me at age 4. You're a brand new baby.
So new.
Probably having the first bath of your life. And my hand is up like I'm just going to smack you so hard.
And all I can assume is that Dad is the one taking that picture and wasn't like, what are you doing?
Oh, yeah. Dad thought it was hilarious. But if Mom had caught that, if any mother would have caught that look, like, who are we raising right now? Oh my gosh, that's awful.
Oh, it's so weird.
Yeah, I can't wait to show it to Miles. He'll crack up.
Oh, yeah. Good. Yeah, it's a great picture. I showed my kids. I'm like, look at your mean Aunt Maggie. I was a baby.
Again, you had your moments too.
Yeah.
None of them come to my mind.
I know, me either. Not a single one of them. I can't think of a single time. I was always just like, please like me.
I did a lot of things that overshadowed your badness.
Okay. I was really good.
Yeah, you were pretty good. Damn it.
I win.
All right, you win again. All right, you ready for, well, first I want to say, Lacey, John, incredible stories tonight.
Awesome stories. Thank you.
Thank you so much. They were both so good. I mean, this was like the start of a spooky season.
I know. I'm ready for some more scary, scary stories.
Mm-hmm.
I do truly love the sentimental ones, but I do love to be scared.
Yeah.
It's my favorite.
Well, especially this time of the year. There's scary movies on TV.
Right. I told Kevin today, it's like 85 degrees outside. And I was like, I'm going to pretend that it's 60 degrees and raining. And I'm going to make chili and I'm going to do puzzles. He was like, well, it's not. Global warming is really taking effect.
It really is. Boy, way to be a downer.
But hey, I could pretend.
That's right. All right. Well, are you ready to lift us back up?
Yes.
With a
I hope you lift us back up with your fan favorite.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to do. And boy, do I have a good one tonight.
All right.
Okay. So this is hilarious to me because I saw this little message on Facebook and immediately was like, oh, that's our next fan favorite. I love it. And then like 20 minutes later, you sent a screenshot of her message on Facebook. You're like, looks like fan favorite material to me. I'm like, girl, I already got this.
Yeah.
Unlock.
I know who it is then.
Yes. So it is the lovely, the most amazing Susan.
Yes. Thank you, Susan.
Okay. So I did my usual, laying it on thick, but laying it on correctly.
Yeah. I don't know why that felt dirty, but it did.
It felt dirty coming out.
Gross.
Sorry. So sorry, Susan. Good grief. We'll clean up our act for you. Our apologies.
No promises.
Although, I'm pretty sure Susan loves it. Okay. So Susan comes back with, Megan, how sweet of you. I might be a little fangirling over here. I so love the podcast and the sister connection that you and Aaron share. I subscribe to MSS. I love people who just call us MSS.
I know, we sound so cool.
We sound so cool. because of the paranormal content, but I enjoy the banter so much that I'm almost disappointed when y'all start reading the stories.
Oh, wow.
I know.
That's really good to hear. Because I'm always like, good, we need to wrap this up.
Oh my gosh. Every time she's like, okay, that's enough. Quit talking, Megan. Okay. Sorry, not sorry. Please don't be sorry.
Yeah, tell us how much you love us.
Right? As for a plug, I have recently established my own nonprofit foundation.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, just wait. This is amazing. Anchored in Grace, that's the name of the foundation, is to provide educational, emotional, and financial support, and then in parentheses, co-pays, transportation to appointments, household expenses, etc., to cancer patients in Eastern North Carolina.
Wow.
I know. Isn't that amazing?
That is amazing.
And she says, born and raised here. Cancer is the greatest common denominator as it leaves no one untouched by its existence.
Aww.
We all know or have lost someone who has had a cancer diagnosis, and it is the biggest asshole of a disease that there is.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. I established Anchored in Grace Foundation with the goal of eventually, remember I said it was newly established, being able to make a positive impact on the lives of anyone who seeks our services. I recently read a publication that shared that on average, a cancer patient depletes their savings within 2 years of their diagnosis.
Gosh, that's awful.
That's horrible. So we will initially prioritize the distribution of funds to the most underserved counties in Eastern North Carolina.
Wow.
Isn't that amazing?
That is amazing.
We are so new that while we are already registered as a nonprofit in North Carolina, we are still waiting for the IRS's approval to solicit funds. So, if possible, and then with a little fingers crossed emoji, I would like to reserve the right to reach back out with an update and share the website info once we can officially make a difference.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
100%.
Yeah, definitely. And then, I love this, BTW. Am I the only person that thinks the fingers crossed emoji looks a little phallic? And you're not anymore. I never noticed it, but now that you bring the attention to it, you got to look at the emoji like, oh, yeah, like a little to the left. I mean, it's a little to the right, but it's definitely phallic.
A little curve every once in a while is all right.
Yeah, it's not bad. Okay. I mean, anyway, I'm going to stop. This is too classy of a foundation for me to even.
She went there,
but I don't need to keep going. At some point, you just let it be there.
Okay. Well,
okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's what 17 years of marriage looks like.
I know,
just let it be there.
And I just can't get the joke out of my head. I got to say it. Like, I like mine a little to the left, not a little to the right. I'm just teasing. Good grief. I don't even know what that means. And here I am joking about it. Okay. Thanks again for a fan favorite recognition. And I will always support this podcast with the selfish goal of attending a My Skeptical Sister show when it travels a little further south.
Oh, I would love that.
Right? Sending much love and best wishes to both of you. Thanks for brightening our days and bringing laughter with every single episode.
Oh, that is so sweet.
I know. Listen to what I said. I was like, oh my gosh, Susan, I hit the jackpot when I picked you as a fan favorite. Not only do your kind words make my day and Erin's when I read them to her later.
Absolutely.
But that is an absolutely beautiful foundation that you have started. You absolutely have the right to reach out, and I look forward to hearing how your journey is. I did say, I love the phrase, look for the good, and you, my friend, are the good.
Oh.
So thank you for all of this.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you can definitely share when that's available to donate, and we will send a donation.
Yes, we definitely will.
That's awesome. Oh, this is like sidebar conversation, but we should have like a fan favorite Friday, and every Friday, if you've been a fan favorite,
sorry. Do you hear this? Do you hear what's happening right now?
Listen.
Okay. I
could post a link to whatever it was. Just be like, hey, I was a fan favorite in episode blah blah blah. Here's a link to my.
I love it.
That'd be great.
I love it. I love how much you love the fan favorite, that you want to extend the fan favorite segment out into real life. No, that really is a beautiful idea, because so many times, like,
they get lost.
Such great organizations are brought up.
Right.
But yeah, like, you might be sitting at home going like, dang, I need something to put good out there.
Right.
And then if we just had like a little bank of them.
Yeah,
let's do that.
Okay, cool.
Okay, sounds great.
If you want to be involved in seeing those posts, or if you've been a fan favorite in the past, be sure to follow our socials on Facebook. Go to My Skeptical Sister Podcast on Facebook.
Yep, I think that's right. Is that the name of our podcast?
We're also on Instagram and on TikTok. Just search our name. You can rate, review, subscribe. That really, really helps us out. You can also, if you're somebody, I typically listen to things on Apple Podcasts, but I've learned here lately through having a podcast that if you can listen on Spotify, it's a really big help for us. So listen on Spotify or wherever you're most comfortable listening, but rate, review, subscribe wherever you can. Tell your friends about us. You can go to our website at myskepticalsister.com where you can write in directly like Lacey did. You can find our P.O. Box information. You can buy merch, our tickets, or our stickers.
Mm-hmm.
And you can find out how to become a Patreon. $3 a month gets you bonus content weekly, gets you a magnet, it gets you a sticker. $5 a month gets you all that, plus our movie nights once a month.
Mm-hmm.
And you can, I'm forgetting something, aren't I?
I don't know, but I was going to say, have we ever told our haunted house stories?
I don't know. Let us know.
Yeah, I don't know either, but if we haven't, I think that should be a Patreon story. So if you want to hear a hilarious
It was
haunted
pretty
house
funny.
story.
Yeah. Yeah, let us know if we haven't told it already, and if we have.
Hold on, who can we? Stephanie. I feel like she's our archives. Stephanie, if you're a Patreon, right? So
Yeah.
right. Yeah. So if we have, let us know, Stephanie.
Yes, that sounds good. You can also write in directly at myskepticalsister@gmail.com. And we'd love to hear your scary stories, especially scarier the better right now.
Oh, yes. Yeah, we definitely need them.
Bring it on. I want to be afraid to go to sleep tonight.
Mm-hmm. I am.
I know. It's spooky.
Yeah, these were great scary stories.
All right. Thank you, guys. We will talk to you next week.
Kia ora.
La 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 la.
Go lay down, Ellie.
Oh, things are going to happen. Oh, that was deceiving. She's a lot more slender than she looks.
Well, she does take after her mother. Just kidding. I sound like a robot. I was. Need a drink. Hold
What
on.
was hilarious is I didn't notice that. I was so into the story until you said I sound like a robot. I was like, oh, yeah, you really did.
Don't make eye contact with me when you do it. Stop. Ellie, stop. And then silence. No, I'm just kidding.
And then nothing happened.